Jay, during the game in Charlotte, we saw you 2 or 3 times kind of asking the team to step up for whatever reason you have in mind, and probably belongs to your tactical plan for that game. I mean, I was just wondering, do those details become even more important in a game like tomorrow's?
I mean, I think anytime we look at the game, obviously in the game, we're trying to adjust and also to, just encourage the guys towards the end of that game because it's, they're tired and it was hot. But at the same time, when we evaluate, we're always trying to get better. And I think there's areas that we can get better, and we have short period of time to do that. But yeah, we want to be always improving so that the next game, which is tomorrow night, we have, we're a better version of ourselves.
You told us for sure that the team has stuff in place for stuff like altitude and whatever it comes to you tomorrow at Mexico City. But is it something that you need to kind of force you guys to take care of stuff earlier than later on a game like that?
I mean, I think we are all sort of have experience with altitude. We've been very proactive with our high performance and medical team, leading in once we knew we would be going there. This group is a really diligent, professional group of guys in that locker room. We don't have to force anything. They take care of themselves, and they have some of the top support.
Just looking at the first leg, obviously holding Club America without a goal. What do you like from that performance? And I guess what parts of the first leg do you think translate over to the second leg? And what do you think is going to be different about this coming in?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just gives us a foundation. We know Club America is really well coached with lots of good players, so there's always going to be adjustments made, but at least it just gives us a foundation on, I thought from a defensive standpoint, we were able to remain compact, something that we always want to do. We were able to limit scoring chances, which, I think it helps you in big games like this when you have two really good teams going against each other. It's going to be about those fine margins. But at the same time, I think we're going to have to be adaptable and kind of be ready for whatever's thrown at us. And at the same time, we're making our own adjustments on our end and, from things that we saw that we have to get better at.
And then just wanted to ask about Alex and I both came off against Charlotte. What do you have a status update on them, and are either of them going to be available tomorrow?
Yeah, both trained full today, so both are available for selection.
Tactically, what do you think is the most important thing that you guys learned from the first meeting last week?
I mean, I think when you sort of just from a 90-minute match, you start to get familiar with the opponent and some of the tendencies. For us, I think there's still, opportunities that we can try to create more goal scoring chances. We definitely know that we need to score. And so I think from an overall standpoint, it's just remaining hard to play against without the ball. And can we be more dynamic with the ball?
And what is the key? I don't know if there's an easy answer to this, but what is the key when the moment presents itself to being able to execute like you need to? Like, say, for instance, a couple opportunities where you guys didn't score, where the moment was there.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we talk about just being able to respond. And, for each moment the game has, whether that's a scoring chance, a big tackle, a blocked cross, winning a duel, picking up a second ball. If you do it well, you build on that and respond. And if you miss that opportunity, you have to move on and do it. The only thing that we know that we're guaranteed is 90, maybe 120 minutes. And you just have to keep playing, have your teammates pick you up, or you pick your teammates up.
Jay, keeping a clean sheet and just part was built, knowing that a goal from you in Mexico forced America to score 2. Will destruction be to absorb the initial pressure and play on their nerves, or will you look to strike early to mentally seal the series?
I mean, when we go on the road, when we play at home, we want to be true to who we are each and every game. So we always try to play Nashville soccer. And
Brian is coming off a crucial penalty. Saying that's mentally impressive number in this tournament. In scenarios like Mexico City, where the visiting goalkeeper is usually the player under the most pressure. How much peace of mind does your tactical system gain from having a goalkeeper who is demonstrating nervous of steel?
Yeah, I mean, I think, when you look at it, we're a team that feeds on the collective. Brian has given us that calm and composure in the back. He's made big saves. We've been in this environment before, whether it's knockout games or going on the road in a 2-leg series. So all of us will just fall back on those experiences that we have, and we're confident in the process that we prepare. And we know that we have a strong mentality that we believe we can go down and get a result.
Anything else in the room before we transition to?
Yeah, one more, just, is there a key or a different type of preparation to playing in such a late game? It's something that you guys don't usually face this often.
Yeah, I mean, certainly that kind of goes into everything that we do. We're professionals. We have our routines, and then we're able to sort of adjust from there. So of course you have to move kind of the clocks back a little bit, your eating times back a little bit, but it's not a huge difference. So it's just minor, it's minor adjustments that we've been sort of already proactive with, again, with the support from a really good high performance and medical team. And you combine that with guys that are just really professional and diligent in the way that they go about their work each and every day.
BJ, obviously the differences in ambience and whatever else we could talk about in Mexico City from Charlotte are big, but just to stay and the sport itself, is it that big of a difference is facing a team like Charlotte on Saturday than America there? I mean, because now after the game, 2-1 victory, maybe we say, well, maybe the victory was easier than expected. Well, I don't think it was anything easy. But is it that big of a difference between those two games in terms of actual football?
I mean, I think once the game starts, the game is the game, right? And each team is trying to battle, and you have your game plan, and you're making your adjustments. This group has shown that they're adaptable and can respond to a lot of things. And so for us, we try to stay focused on what did we do well versus Charlotte and how we can continue to get better at it. And then what are some things that we need to improve? We're constantly looking to get better. And so for now, we just go to the next game against an opponent that we've played before. So there's a little bit more familiarity for both of us. But no, once the game kicks off, we know what's at stake in these type of games. We've been there before, and it just becomes another soccer game.
Yeah, I know the focus is obviously on the game tomorrow night, but just kind of maybe zooming out a little bit. There's always kind of talk about MLS versus Liga MX. I'm curious what you see as kind of the big differences, just going up against the Liga MX team. What maybe kind of stands out, and I guess how do you feel like Nashville and MLS in general kind of stacks up?
Yeah, but I think you look at the history. There's pretty good competition, but it's pretty equal for the most part in recent history. So I think you see that both leagues have really good teams with really good players. There's little unique stylistic differences, but that's the beauty of football when you play against different cultures and different blends of cultures. And so for us, we look at this as a great opportunity to play against international competition, North America, and one of the bigger, more historic clubs in our region.
All right, we'll go ahead and transition to the Zoom. As a reminder, if you have a question on the Zoom, please use the hand raise function. We'll go to John Glennon and then Jacob Shane, so you guys can ask 2 questions if you have them.
BJ, I'm sure you're obviously laser focused on this coming game without question, but I wondered maybe if you could just take a peek at the kind of the bigger picture here too. What would it mean? What kind of a statement might it mean for this franchise to one round knock out Lionel Messi, one of the greatest players of all time, and then potentially knock out a team with the kind of history that Club America has as well? What would that say about, where Nashville SC stands?
Yeah, I mean, thanks for the question. Welcome back, John. Great to have you back covering the team.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I think from the beginning, this club, from ownership all the way down, is an ambitious club. And for us, we want to continue to earn our way to play against elite teams in this region. Miami being one of those as the MLS Cup champ, Club America being one of those as somebody with historical, winning and serial winning in Mexico. And we're a young club, but our ambitions are the same. And for us, we've earned our opportunity here. It's not been given to us. And we look forward to the chance to continue to earn our way into, basically into the semifinal. But we definitely understand that we have to be at our best tomorrow night to make sure that we can get the result that we want.
Sure. And I know one of your goals coming into this season was maybe to kind of diversify offensive attack just a little bit, even though you guys scored a large number of goals last year. What did it mean last game to get a couple goals from your midfielders, and what could that mean going forward?
Yeah, I think as we want to continue to sort of evolve and elevate our play, you're going to need to get contributions in different ways from the whole team. And, obviously seeing Eddie and Patrick get on the score line the other night was big for us because those were big, important goals. Guys, other guys contributing to those goals. It doesn't just happen, by themselves. And that gives us confidence, and we know that we have a deep team. And not only do we have a deep team in players, but deep team in experience. A lot of the guys that are playing have lots of MLS experience and big game experience, and Leagues Cup and Concacaf Champions League experience as well. And so we know we're going to call on all of that to continue to advance.
Go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah, BJ. I don't know how many off the top of my head, how many of the guys on the team have actually played at Azteca, but have you told them anything about, what that stadium is like, what the environment is like there, just from your own experience there with the USMNT?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us have shared our experiences, as to kind of what it's like, and a lot of that is around, there's not many historic stadiums that we get to go to, so it's a great opportunity in your professional career to take 2 minutes and like pause and think about like this, kind of where we get to play in the history in a stadium like that. But at the same time, then you flip the switch as a pro, and we understand that we're going to have a well-coached and organized opponent that we're going to need to play against, and both are going to play with intensity to try and advance to the next round. And that's what's going to happen in between the white lines, regardless of the stadium that you're playing in.
Yeah, and you praised America's organization on after the match on Tuesday. And I know what improvements do you feel you've made in breaking down kind of a set defense, especially after you go on the road against Charlotte and score 2 goals there?
Yeah, I think it's just for us, continuing to do the things that we do well, regardless of how the opponent kind of plays against us. We want to be a team that can play in between the lines. We want to be a team that can, threaten the space behind, and we want to be a team that gets the ball in the penalty box. And regardless of how the opponent plays us, those are always going to be our objectives. And for us, we have to continue to be more consistent at that, but at the same time, use it as knowing it's one of our strengths.